Welcome back to my channel. I have had so many people asking me to do a set of nails with these soft gel tips from Shein. So that's what we're going to do today from beginning to end. And I just want to show you on the inside of the box, they do have the numbers for sizing, and the sizing numbers are on the tips as well. So it's making it really easy. I like the boxes that they come in. That's the first thing I do like about these tips. So I am going to start sizing my left hand, and that's where we will be applying the tips to in this video. So that is the shape. These are short almond, like it said, and I like the length of them. That's another bonus about these tips so far. Now, I would say, looking at these tips right offhand, these tips would be really good for someone that doesn't have a really dramatic arch in their nail, more of a flat nail, because they do not have an extremely high arch like some tips. So if you're a person looking for something like that, then these will be perfect for you. They're good for me because I don't have an extreme arch or anything, and I'm just sizing sidewall to sidewall. You don't want to go over the sidewalls or it's too big, and anything under, you're going to see your natural nail, and you do not want to do that. And so I'm just making sure that they're going to fit perfectly. You can trim the sides of your nail, but don't cut below the hyponychium, but just to get rid of the sides. For the almond shape, the coffin shape or square, you don't need to do that as much. But for almond, it's kind of nice to trim away the edges, the corners of your nail just a little bit, just to make it easier to find that perfect shape or size. And now I think I'm on the index finger, and it's usually, oh no, I'm on the middle, sorry. It's a little bigger always than my index or ring finger. It's usually one size bigger. So these, I noticed I had to go up a few sizes than what I normally do with, say, a coffin tip, and that's quite normal for an almond tip, that you need to go up in size. So this is one size down from the middle finger, but it's the same size I used or sized on my ring finger. So the last one is the thumb. So when I use full nail tips on clients and I find they have a wider thumb, there's a way around it. Say you take the 0 and it's the biggest size and their thumb is too wide. You can take the full nail tip and apply it a little higher on their finger and leave a space between the cuticle and the tip, just so it fully covers the width of that nail, if that makes sense. I think I do show you that when applying this one. I do have to go a little bit higher on mine. Some people would have to be that much higher, but just giving you an idea of what it looks like and what you would do in that case. So here they are. There's the sizes for my nails. I don't tend to have really wide nails. They're all kind of uniform and not too wide. So I'm going to spray with some nail prep. And I do make my own nail prep. So if you'd like to know how I do that and want me to do a video, let me know down in the comments and I'll do that for you. So using what I feel is the best system out there for applying full nail tips over builders, polygels, anything is this. This is from Daily Charme. I'll have the link down in the description. I do have a 10% off code if you want to purchase this. This is the perfect trio of applying these tips, and this is number 1, and it is the primer. So just doing a thin layer on all of my nails, and once I apply it to all 5 nails, then I'm going to let it dry for like 30 seconds. By the time I get to the next step, it'll be dried anyways. So when I did the prep for these nails, I do have a little bit of product left on my natural nails, but not enough to worry about when applying the 3-step system. So number 2 from this system, this is the bonder. Now I'm gonna apply this to my nails since the primer is now dried, and I'm gonna place a nice thin layer again, and I'll let this dry as well for like 30 seconds after I apply it. And I have one more thing to do with the bonder though before I put it away. Just want to make sure you get right to those edges, of course. So that is going to dry. Now I have to take the bonder and I actually have to apply it to the underside of these tips. That's what I like about the system. You don't have to etch the underside. These ones are to a point etched already, but it's not necessary with this system. You save a step because it will hold no matter what and not pop off with this system. That's what I love about it. So I want to apply the bonder to everywhere where it's going to be touching the natural nail and bonding to it. Just a nice thin layer again. So I didn't realize I hadn't had my camera on when I prepped my nails and got them ready for the product. So that video is in the top right hand corner. Another video where I actually did the prep of my natural nails before I started applying this system. So with the thumb, I do like to go up a little bit higher on the thumb. I just do. I feel that the thumb, there's a lot more area and I want to make sure and cover it all. Okay, so that is done. So I'm going to grab number 3, which is the nail extension gel. It's a nice system because it is numbered, so you can't make a mistake on how to apply it. So I do find applying full nail tips to myself definitely a lot harder than applying to clients. It just is. I can't explain it, but I still can do it to myself because I've had a lot of experience doing it, but I definitely prefer to apply them to a client over myself. So we're taking the pinky, and I'm just going to take the extension gel, and I'm going to apply it up to, say, where it's going to be all covering my natural nail. And then once I have that thin layer, I'm going to put a dollop of it right at the bottom there. You don't want to put too much. You don't want it seeping out the edges or the top, and you don't want to apply too little or you'll have some air bubbles and it won't be bonded nicely to that natural nail. So at an angle, just going to put it on and push it down. And you don't want the gel going past your natural nail if you can help it, because you don't want to get that gel on your skin. And the light I'm using to the left is from Amazon. I'll put that link down below as well. It's my favorite light because it does hook onto my desk. So I flash cured it, and then I'll put them all together in my big lamp once I have them all on. So same thing again, a thin layer covering my whole nail, dollop of the extension gel there on the edge, and then I'm going to angle it on my nail. And I want the gel to go down to the end of my natural nail. And I just want to make sure that tip is straight too before I flash cure it. And I want to make sure my nail is actually fully covered, which it is, so it can get a quick flash cure. So moving on to the middle finger again, I'm just going to speed it up now. I kind of explained it. And just that thin layer again, the dollop on the end, not too much, not too little. Angle it on my nail. Make sure it's nice and straight before it's flash cured. Make sure it's covering my nail fully, right to the end, of course. And once it is, then I flash cure it. So now I'm doing the index finger, same thing again. So I'll just let you finish watching me apply, and I'll explain when I get to the thumb because I will be doing something different like I had explained at the beginning. On the thumb, I'll be doing the exact same thing as I did to the other ones, covering it to where it'll be on my natural nail, then the dollop at the bottom. And you can't really notice it a lot when I do it on my thumb, but I will push it up a little higher so it covers my natural nail fully. And that's the trick I said that you can do if somebody has a wider nail. So you push it up just a little bit. I hope you can see it. I did do that. And of course, I want to make sure it's straight. And before I flash cure it, I grab a cleanup brush because the gel did go too far over my natural nail when I pushed it up. So once I clean that off, and I make sure the tip is straight and it's up over covering the tip of my nail, then I'll flash cure it right away. And of course I did make a bigger mess with this one. So it's flash curing now and they're all done. They cured for 60 seconds, taking some isopropyl alcohol and just removing anything sticky on them. And I always tell everybody, make sure you go underneath because there's that cured gel, and cured gel always has that sticky inhibition layer. So you want to remove that so the dust doesn't get stuck underneath when you're filing. So taking 180 grit file, I'm just going to file the edges and make sure there's no extension gel along those edges that I have to remove. And I'm going to do all of the nails. I think I do speed it up at some point, and I do shape these slightly because there is a little bit of an extra piece on the very edge. So I do that, and I want to make sure they're all the same length too, because everybody's nail beds are different lengths. So you kind of got to make sure and check to see if they are all the same as you're doing it. So I'll be back with the next step. I'll just let you watch me do this, and then when we get there, I'll be talking about what I'm doing. So they're filed, they're all the same length. Now I'm grabbing my Cuticle Bit, and this one is from Erika's ATA. I'll put it down in the description as well with my 10% off code. This is the only bit I use for this. It's so gentle around the cuticles. It's a diamond bit, and it is the perfect bit for doing this. This is the only one I use for that reason. So it'll be down there as well. So of course I'm going to remove any extension gel that might have seeped out slightly, make it nice and smooth, nice transition from the cuticle to the actual tip. And this one I did go a little higher, so there's a bit of a ridge that I want to smooth out. So I don't think I have anything else to explain about with the bit other than make sure you smooth everything really nice for the application of the polish. It'll be so much easier if you get any of the extra extension gel or anything that might have got on the tip slightly. I have another step after this, but I'll just let you watch me finish doing around the cuticles, and then I'll be back for the next one again. I decided not to show you that step on all of the nails. So the next step, I'm taking a buffing block and I'm just gonna buff over all of the nails just to make sure they're nice and smooth for the gel polish application. Really important just to have them nice and smooth, and make sure if you missed anything, you're gonna get it off with the buffing block. And then this step, a lot of nail techs don't do, but I think it's so important. I am going to grab a little dabbing dish, and I'm going to grab my 100% acetone, and I have it in this bottle. I'm going to put a little bit in there. I'm going to grab my cleanup brush, and I'm going to dab some of the acetone first on a little piece of paper towel, and then I'm going to rub it around the cuticle. This is going to seal the tips to the natural nail and kind of get rid of any of that ridge that might be there if you don't do this as it grows out. So just nicely, just firm pressure and a little bit of acetone around that whole cuticle. So I'm going to do that to all of the nails. Next, I want to show you what you can do. So I sealed that thumb, and remember there was that space. Well, I can fill in the space with that extension gel. I put the primer, I put the bonder on, let them dry. Now I'm taking the extension gel and just filling in that space there between the cuticle and the tip so that the polish will bond to that. And once it cures for 60 seconds, I'm going to smooth it over. And if I need to use my file, I will, but you don't apply too much, just enough to make a nice smooth surface, and then buff it. And then I'm going to wipe these nails with some isopropyl alcohol, and I'll be ready to do the set of Valentine's nails I'll be doing on myself. If you're interested in seeing what I do, then just keep watching, and I'll get started with what polishes I'm using, and you'll see some art that I do on them as well. It will be really quick though, because this video is getting long enough. I don't want to make it too long, so I'll explain what I'm doing on my nails in a minute here. And yeah, if you're interested, just keep watching. I've really enjoyed using the MelodySusie polishes lately, so I'm going to use a different one. This is Cinammon Cloud, and I have a 12% off code. It'll be down in the description if you do want to buy any of their polishes. They're really nice opaque polishes for light or even their dark colors. They're really nice. So I'm going to apply this. I only show 2 of the nails, I think, with the polish, because the rest are all going to be the same after I do the 2 colors I'll be using. So I do 2 coats. That's all I need. This is such a light color, but this polish is amazing. It's 2 coat coverage. All of their light polishes are, and they also have these art liner brushes, and I love them. And there's 5 in this set, and they're all different lengths. So if you're looking for a good art liner brush set, I'll put that down in the description as well. But I like to use this one to go around my cuticles. And then once I'm done that, I'll cure it for 30 seconds. I'll show you the second coat, and then we'll move on to the next color I'll be using. The next polish is a glitter polish from MelodySusie. It's called Champaigne Star, and it is so beautiful. It's champagne colored. It's a fine glitter. I loved this one as soon as I saw it when I received it. So I want to do a couple of the nails in this, but I'll just show you one nail. It covers so nice even after 1 coat, but I'll do 2 coats, cure each for 30 seconds, and then I'll be back when I do the art on these nails. And like I said, I don't want this video to be too long, so I don't show you applying the rest of the polish to all of them. Okay, so the nails are ready for art. So I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol and remove the sticky layer, because I'm taking some striping tape and I really want it to stick. So this is like a champagne gold. It matches pretty nice to the glitter that I use. So just gonna apply it, and then I'll grab my cuticle nippers to trim it once I get it centered. It's gonna go right in the center of that nail from top to bottom. So So that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to move it a little bit, I think, here. Yeah, I'm going to move it. Once you have it down, it's just easier. When you're doing this on yourself, it's a lot harder than doing it on a client. But there, it looks pretty centered now. I'm happy with that. So I'll grab those cuticle nippers and trim off any extra. So I did apply the striping tape, and I could have left it just like this. It would have been fine for the art I'm doing on it. But I really love that champagne glitter polish. So once I get it trimmed, I put a thin top coat over it, and I do buff or file right along the edge so that the striping tape can't come up as I'm wearing it. And then I apply that thin layer, which I don't show in this video, a thin layer over the striping tape. And then I take the champagne gold glitter polish and I actually draw over the line. Really didn't need to, but for whatever reason, I just love the Champaigne Star polish so much. I wanted it on top of this. And it'll be a nice straight line, of course, because I'm following it. And then I will be doing one more thing to this nail once I have that done. Okay, so that's done. It is pretty. Cure it for 30 seconds. Then I'm going to take another polish. It's called Snow White from MelodySusie, and I'm going to put it on my palette. You can see I put it on there, and grabbing a dotting tool, and I'm going to do a heart. So I always start my hearts with doing 2 dots. Then I'll grab the detail brush from MelodySusie and finish the heart. So I'm going to speed up the heart a little bit here, just so it doesn't take too long. So I'm now done drawing it. It's cute. It's going to cure for 30 seconds. And I decide to go over it one more time once it cured once, just so that you don't see the glitter below. And then it'll be perfect. So when I'm done this, that's actually all the art I decided to do on these. They're simple. I like the colors. Nothing too fancy, but just a little Valentine's Day nail on the one. And I'm going to take my thicker top coat to cover these up. So I'll do that next. When I'm doing the thicker top coat, I like to flash cure each nail before moving on to the next one so it doesn't run into my cuticles. So just going to do the thumb for you so you can see how pretty that glitter is as I cover it up. And if anything isn't smooth or there's an indent or anything, this top coat is perfect for that. And then the top coat cures for 60 seconds once I have them all done. And I'm going to show you right away the finished nails. I hope you enjoyed this video. I did really like those full nail tips. There's different lengths, different shapes. And if you're interested, I'll have that link below for those tips. I hope you liked the set I did. It's really simple. I just think they're a pretty soft set of Valentine's nails. And I want to thank everybody for watching as always. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And if you could subscribe to my channel. Thanks for all your support always, and I will see everybody in the next one.